Welcome back, folks. I'm Jake Ellenbogen. This is JE Live, and I'm not coming to you with the best news for most of you. I'm okay. I think it's gonna end up being okay. I'm not really worried. But there are some Rams fans that are gonna be upset. Christian McCaffrey is officially a San Francisco 49er. The deal just went down. Actually, it went down a little bit ago, but I was premiering a podcast that I did with Cameron Lynch that you can check over on my channel after this. But basically, I was premiering that, so I couldn't go live. And yeah, this trade went down. The full terms of it, the 49ers are going to get Christian McCaffrey, running back from the Carolina Panthers, for a second rounder in 2023, a third rounder in 2023, a fourth rounder in 2023, and a fifth rounder in 2024. So I will say this. I think it's a lot. I think it's a lot to give up. I think it's a ton to give up. And I understand there's going to be people like they didn't give up a first rounder. They didn't give up a first rounder because they didn't have a first rounder to give up. They gave that away for Trey Lance. So keep that in mind. But looking at their picks in 2023, they're going to have to do the Rams formula here because they have a third round compensatory, a third round compensatory, a fifth round compensatory, a seventh, and a seventh round compensatory. So no second round pick, no first round pick. Late third round picks due to the head coaching hires of McDaniels, and in addition to that, McDaniel, and in addition to that, Robert Saleh. No pick in the fourth round. They get a fifth rounder there. They have a fifth rounder, and then no sixth round pick because they traded for Charles Omenihu from the Texans. So, yeah, a little. Very mixed reactions here. I think there's going to be people that are somewhat, they're happy about this. Obviously, the Niners fans that come on this channel, everyone's welcome, first off, but the Niners fans that come on this channel are going to be happy about this. Some of the Rams fans might, because I did hear there were some people that are like, you know what? I don't really want Christian McCaffrey. I don't feel like he's a need. I agree with your thoughts on Darrell Henderson. They should use him more like that. Or they weren't even for Darrell Henderson. They just kind of don't feel like running backs matter. So it's really interesting, by the way, how we've kind of gone, and I've seen a lot of people guilty of this. Running backs don't matter. Running backs don't matter. You don't spend multiple picks on them. You don't draft them high. And then you go out and you trade for Christian McCaffrey. And I saw a lot of people saying they should and their team should. So clearly running backs do matter. And I've always been of the belief that running backs do matter. Sorry, guys, I'm like totally losing my voice. So we'll see how long this lasts. But busy day today. But, running backs definitely matter. And Christian McCaffrey, what he does is he gives them another weapon, a guy that can really do it all. But what does that mean for the Niners? What does it mean for the Rams? Because funny enough, Christian McCaffrey's last game with the Panthers was against the Rams, and now his first game against the Rams sounds like it, or his first game with the 49ers is going to be against the Rams. So, we'll see. I mean, Christian McCaffrey ran extremely well against the Rams. They had every opportunity, and really McCaffrey diced him up. But I do think that when you look at the 49ers here, this feels like a weird panic move. I'm not going to lie. I understand the guy's talented. I'm not saying he's not. But it definitely feels like a weird panic move. The 49ers fans in here are going to disagree with me, and that's fine. But I don't feel like running back is the issue. As a matter of fact, I don't think, and this is kind of the funny thing, is I'm kind of in between here. So you have people that are like, well, what's going to happen with Elijah Mitchell and this guy and this guy? Can I just be brutally honest with you for 2 seconds? Tyrion Davis-Price, maybe he ends up being something. Tevin Coleman, Jeff Wilson Jr., and Elijah Mitchell are all Jags. They're not anything special. It's the Kyle Shanahan system that makes them look special. Okay, they're really not that great. I'm not at all impressed with Jeff Wilson. Tevin Coleman couldn't make the Jets roster. They cut him. So I'm not sitting here thinking, oh yeah, like, how could they get Christian McCaffrey? They have all sorts of guys. It's like, I don't look at any of those guys as anything more than just Jags. And if you think for a second that any of those guys are better than Henderson, well, I would disagree with you. But here's the thing, and I don't even think Most of them probably aren't as good as Kyron when healthy. But here's the thing, okay, with Christian McCaffrey. So Christian McCaffrey, what he's going to do immediately is he's going to slide into this offense. Jimmy Garoppolo needs all the help he can get because he is a limited quarterback. So you have Christian McCaffrey, you have Debo, you have Brandon Ayuk, you have Danny Gray, a third-round pick that can stretch the field. And you have Juwan Jennings, who, he's a good player in his own right. You have George Kittle. You have Kyle Juszczyk, who they use. So there are some serious, weapons here. But at the same time, it's not like the Rams have to play against tough teams. I mean, this shouldn't be any different. You know what I'm saying? Like, basically, the Rams know what Kyle Shanahan wants to do. He wants to run the football. That's what he wants to do. He wants to run the football. I'm sure Kyle Shanahan today is probably feeling so great because they finally got out from underneath the Rams and they got out ahead of them and they actually got a deal done. Because I know, like, Kyle Shanahan has been very open how he was upset about the whole, he was upset about the whole thing with Stafford and, oh my God, we didn't get Stafford and that pissed him off and all that because he went to the Rams. It's like, of course. And I'm sure they were thinking the same thing about Von Miller and thinking the same thing about Odell and guys like that. And now 49ers fans as well. It's like you finally got a guy that the Rams didn't. And it's almost like I've seen two sides of the coin here because part of it is, and I've heard this like, oh, it's F them picks. Yeah, and yes, you're right to an extent. But now you have to show up. Okay, this is now up to the Niners to actually make this worth it because you do not have a lot of picks. And, you can go through the drafts. I'm sorry, you drafted Trey Sermon in the third round, never really gave him a chance. F them pick strategy, the reason the Rams have done it so well is because, and they've allowed to continue to do, trades for, let's go through them all. Sammy Watkins, Brandon Cooks, Jalen Ramsey, Marcus Peters before Jalen Ramsey, Aqib Talib. The reason they were able to do all those things, Matthew Stafford, is because you go out and you get a Ben Skowronek in the 7th round. You go out and get a Jordan Fuller in the 6th. Darion Kendrick is starting out of the 6th round rookie. 4th round, Jacoby Durant. Sebastian Joseph Day. Okay, these late picks that are showing up and actually Nick Scott. So if the 49ers can't do what the Rams are doing, it's going to be a sad, reasoning and kind of the development here for a lot of teams that it is a copycat league, but you can't just copy F them picks. It's more than that. And that's why, like, I have to bring that up because there's so many people like, oh, yeah, they're just doing what the Rams are doing. No, they're not. And you know what? Let's learn a thing or two today, right? So 2021 49ers draft. Let's go through it. Because I think really this is what's lost on people is that F them picks is more than just F them picks, right? You have to actually get something out of it. And, in order to keep it going, you have to actually draft well. You have to develop, And so I do think that's legit, okay? So you look at the 49ers in 2021, Trey Lance, I mean, he got hurt, but he was going to be their starter. They traded assets to go out and get him. He has to pan out, right? So Aaron Banks, like he has to pan out. He's a 2nd round offensive lineman. Trey Sermon, you've already cut. Ambry Thomas, Jalen Moore, you couldn't even rely on when Trent Williams went down. Diomedor Lenore, we'll see what ends up happening with Dio Lenore. Talanoa Hufanga looks awesome, and Elijah Mitchell, 6th round running back. Obviously now he's not as valuable after this move. 2022, Drake Jackson, Tyrion Davis-Price. So you spent a 3rd round pick on a running back again, but then you go out and you get Christian McCaffrey, so it almost nullifies that. Danny Gray, I like that move. I like the Spencer Bierford move. Samuel Womack looks good. So you have some guys here that, okay. So you got to be able to develop them, right? 2020, you have a 7th rounder in Juwan Jennings that's starting. There you go. Niners doing a good job there. Charlie Warner, he's a backup tight end, 6th-rounder. He has a role. Colton McKivitz doesn't look very bad. He's a 5th-round tackle. Brandon Ayuk looks kind of like a bust. At least he's not worth a 1st-round pick, and Javon Kinlaw's had his moments. You look at 2019. You go out and you get Dre Greenlaw in the 5th round. You get Deebo Samuel in the 2nd. You get Nick Bosa in the 1st. Jalen Hurd was a bust in the 3rd. Mitch Winowski, you went out and got a punter in the 4th round. Caden Smith, tight end in the 6th. So here's what I will say about this. They're doing some similar things as the Rams, but not on the level. So now that they have adapted this, they've adopted this essentially, they really need to hit it home, in my opinion, on these picks now moving forward. There's a lot of pressure. They're not going to have a 1st. They're not going to have a 2nd. They're going to have a 3rd, a late 3rd in the compensatory round. So they have to hit on those. And this is why I say all over again, the whole F them picks, we can do it too. No, you can't. It's not for everybody. The 49ers could. I'm not saying they can't, but now you really have to hit home on your picks. You need to be able to develop. And if you don't, it's not going to look good. So I'll be honest with you. I'm going to give the Panthers an A+. They were able to trade a guy that's missed 23 games, and he's been on the injury report 29 weeks in his career total, and get a boatload of picks. For those of you who don't know, Marshall Faulk was traded to the Rams for a 2nd and a 5th round pick. So, this is a lot more than that haul. They didn't give up a 1st. Congrats. But I think this is a panic move by Kyle Shanahan. And I got to tell you right now, and this is my thing, I do believe running backs matter. And I wasn't against getting McCaffrey for a 2nd. That was the highest I would go. I felt like they would offer a 2nd and a 4th. Sounds like that's what they offered. But here's the thing. F them picks has noticed who the Rams have acquired with those. A franchise quarterback, a cornerstone corner, a big-time elite pass rusher. That's what they've acquired. They've gone out and gotten, a game-breaking wide receiver. It's like a running back. I feel like they're kind of doing what the Rams are doing, but what I'll say is this. It should tell you all you need to know that the Rams, who have all the experience in the world, going out and trading for talent, doing the whole F them picks, doing all the blockbuster trades, the team that makes the most blockbuster trades out of anybody in this league decided this one was not worth the price that they were asking. That is a panic move. That is something. Okay? I believe that. We'll see if he works out for the Niners. I think if he stays healthy, he certainly could. But I just don't. It seems weird. It seems weird to me because this 49ers team, regardless of how you feel about them, Shanahan gets anybody to get going in the run game. So I don't feel like this was a need. I don't. If you want to go balls to the wall for this year and you're going all in on Jimmy Garoppolo, who is your backup plan, maybe you go out and you try and get Mac Jones from New England. You look at what Bailey Zappi's doing, you're like, man, why don't we just go out and get Mac Jones? And then you trade Trey Lance next year or something. I don't know. If you were all in, you'd want the better quarterback. Do you really think Jimmy Garoppolo is going to win the Super Bowl this year? That's the thing. They're good enough to beat the Rams because they match up well with the Rams, and they basically have been built to beat the Rams, which is a solid way to build your team. But when push comes to shove and you have to actually win a Super Bowl, it's shown to be not effective. So I like some of what the 49ers have done, but I got to say this is a panic move, and it's way too much to give up. The Panthers were smart to do it, and I have no issue with the Rams holding out of this. If the Rams go out and they get Brian Burns, I can tell you who won the trade deadline. It's not the 49ers. Let's see here. Darius, appreciate you for donating. What's up, Jake and Ramley? I don't have anything intelligent to say, so I'll just say the 49ers are washed up overachievers whose glory days are long gone, LL. But seriously, who do we focus on before the trade deadline? It's a good question. I have no idea who they're going to focus on, but I think there are some guys that are interesting to keep in mind. At running back, I don't think they go anywhere, and I don't think they should. I mean, you get a running back in Christian McCaffrey, and if you can get him for a second and only a second, then okay, that's a good move. You get him because he's available, but I don't think they need a running back. And what I'll say is when you look at, the offensive linemen that might be available, I mean, Isaiah Wynn is somebody that I'm like, look, a former first round pick. He went to the Patriots with the pick that the Rams traded to them, for Brandon Cooks. And he's a guy that has played in big games. He's starting to struggle a little bit at tackle. He might be better off moving in at guard, and he might be better off in, kind of a change of scenery, a better situation, if you will. And then on top of that, think about this. He goes in place for, a title contender instead of just going to some team that's going to basically give up on the season. Now he feels like there's some meaning for his, season. So I think that's an interesting thing there. The Rams have made some trades with the Patriots, and if they were able to get Win, I also wonder if they could maybe, kind of sneak Uche in that deal, maybe give up, I don't know, maybe a third for both of them. I think that would be fair. Appreciate you guys donating, by the way. I don't know why my comment highlighter is not working today, so I apologize for that. Not really sure what's going on. Normally I highlight comments, but it's not working. So I have not an app, but a plugin to do that, and it's not highlighting them. Oh, hold on. Maybe we got it now. Let's see here. Boom, there we go. Awesome. Give me Brian Burns and a solid lineman instead. Yeah, I'll take Brian Burns and Isaiah Wynn, and I mean, you got yourself a deal there. I think you can get Wynn for a late round pick. He's not playing his best football, so it'd be kind of a reclamation project, if you will. But, that's what the Rams have done before. They did it with Austin Corbett. They did it with, you look at, not Leonard Floyd. I'm totally blanking on his name. Dante Fowler Jr. Reclamation projects. I mean, the Rams have done them before. They work. So when you have good coaching, you can do it. Appreciate you donating, Fernando. Appreciate you donating, Jay Squirrels. I didn't mention your name, so I wanted to mention that. So, yeah, I don't know. The way I'm at right now is this, okay? The 49ers fans are going to celebrate about this, and they should. I mean, they should be happy. It's a star running back, and, he's a guy that with Kyle Shanahan, you just dream about some of the things that he could, some of the looks that he could give him. But at the same time, the 49ers are all in. They better win the Super Bowl because this is a lot to give up for just a running back. A position where guys get hurt a lot, and in addition to that, it's a guy that is a walking injury. So, I mean, like I said, I wasn't even all for going out and getting McCaffrey. I said I'd be okay with a second round pick. So, I feel like this is kind of a little much to give up. I am Cub. I definitely am. We'll see what ends up happening, but I'm very excited for Kyren Williams because I think he and Darrell Henderson would be a really nice tandem in that backfield. But we'll see when he comes back. Sean McVay talked about basically being able to do the 21-day period where, he can practice and get ready to be added onto the roster, starting that 21-day period, coming off the bye. So there's that. By the way, I gotta say this. It has nothing to do with analysis or anything like that. I just think it's really funny, okay? I think it's really, really funny, and I gotta say it. It's been on my mind. It might seem petty. I don't care. How many of these teams and their fans are so damn jealous about the Rams? It's every little thing. It's like, well, you guys aren't going to get OBJ because we are. We want OBJ. You guys aren't going to get Brian Burns. We're tired of you trading all your picks and getting guys. We're going to get Brian Burns. It's like, man, it's like so. I don't know. I think it's hilarious how much people are like. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I've seen it a lot of it where it's like I've never seen. I guess I'm not used to it because I mean the Rams were terrible for years, and now all of a sudden they're really good, and all this going on, and it's like everyone's just like all like upset anytime the Rams are rumored. 49ers fans are like upset that the Rams are like rumored to be in on Brian Burns and all that. And it's just like, oh, here we go again. It's just like, I don't know. I think it's funny. And I mean, it is funny because I can see people are also finding it funny. But, you know, oh, man, I can't believe I'm making more content. Man, I've made content all day. Beats watching the Yankees lose in the freaking ALCS to the most annoying team on God's earth. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think Johnny, you gotta. I mean, you basically have to stay in nickel, right? I mean, at least I think so. You can't really go in base when you have CMC and Debo on the field. But at the same time, the Rams play predominantly nickel anyway, so I'm not really too worried about it. No, I would not. No, no, no. Coach, no. I would not have given up two. If it were me, I'd only give up a second, and that was me saying I'd be okay with giving up a second. Like, I'd be like, all right, we gave up a second. It's not all that bad. If they give up a second and a fourth, that's what I felt like the Rams were gonna do, and that's what sounds like they were gonna do. That's not what I would personally do. Um, but you know, yeah, it's true. It does change things, but at the same time, I'm just like, and I'm sure you get my point as well, Johnny, is that when, watching the Niners, it's like Kyle Shanahan can make anybody run well, in his offense. I get why they got McCaffrey, but I just feel like they traded way too much for him. So, yeah, it's still a lot of money, though. It's still going to be a lot of money for the 49ers. I mean, like I said, it's a lot to pay. And the Rams had I'm just saying the Rams have made multiple moves like this. And when the Rams aren't willing to give up more picks, that's telling you something. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you see like the way the Rams reacted to this, because if the Rams wanted to win, like, I'm sorry, if the Rams wanted McCaffrey that bad, he'd be a Ram. They would easily have been able to outdo the 49ers. The 49ers and Rams both didn't have a first round pick, and the Rams are the team that adopted the F them picks mentality. So they would have been able to pay more, give up more than the 49ers because they already have that experience in doing so. However, and this is important, the Rams decided this wasn't worth it. And I got to tell you, I agree with them. It's not worth it. It's a lot to give up for a guy, like I said, has missed 23 games and has been on 29 injury reports in 29 weeks. I mean, that's just, that's just the way it is. If he stays healthy, great. But if he doesn't stay healthy, say he gets hurt, and this is what I kept thinking about. This is what I kept thinking about as somebody that covers the Rams and is a fan. I saw a scenario where the Rams could get McCaffrey, and we're all trying to talk ourselves into he's not going to get hurt. He's going to be great. He has a couple really good runs to start the game, gets hurt against the Niners, done for the year. And now what you just did is gave up a second and a fourth or whatever they were going to give up. And now you don't have ammo to go out and get a Brian Burns should he become available. You don't have ammunition to go out and get, Robert Quinn, Montez Sweat, Cameron Jordan, whoever becomes available at that point. You no longer have that ammunition. You spend it on Christian McCaffrey. So, it's one of those things where there's definitely a risk. Yeah, and it's like what we talked about. I mean, the Rams got to run the ball more. It's that simple. And I've said, and I know everybody, it's funny the blowback I got because of a punchline my friend had, but here's the facts. Okay, it can be made fun of all the time and whatnot, but until people realize, like, Darrell Henderson is not Christian McCaffrey, right? He's not Christian McCaffrey. He's not Alvin Kamara, and I'm not saying he is. But this guy does everything well. He doesn't do it at an elite level, but he does everything well. So my argument is that if you are going to go out and get Christian McCaffrey and all of a sudden McCaffrey's on another team, why not try to use Henderson how you would use McCaffrey? I understand it's not going to be perfect, but you should try to at least use Henderson in the receiving game. Because right now, look, you guys might not realize that Henderson's running the top 5 most routes for a running back in the league. In the league. I mean, I have that stat somewhere. I have the actual... Let me see if I can find it, because it is absolutely ridiculous. He is right there with, like, Christian McCaffrey. It's insane. I just saw it. It was, let's see here. Well, he's top 10 in running back DVOA as well, but trying to find it. Anyway, he's 5th. Okay, Christian McCaffrey is 3rd, I believe. So why not try and use him more and less like a decoy? Do you know Darrell Henderson runs the most routes of any running back on the outside? Why is that? They're using him as a decoy. Maybe when Van Jefferson comes back, they'll actually use him the right way. I don't know. I want to see him utilized correctly. Everyone that hates on him, guys, just be lucky you have him. He's led the Rams in yards per carry average since 2019 when he entered the league. I think everyone got so in love with Cam Akers and his potential that they really just kind of didn't realize what they had in Henderson. Yeah, he's not Steven Jackson, Todd Gurley, Marshall Faulk, Eric Dickerson. All right, get over it. He's not. They don't have that on the roster. But I'll say that. Also, agree with you, Nolan. I agree. I think the Panthers are bluffing. I absolutely do believe Brian Burns is on the table. I think everybody has a price, and I think Brian Burns could be had. And I think the Rams would have to give up a 2nd this year and a 1st next year, and I think they do that. If Brian Burns can be had, a 2nd rounder this year, a 1st rounder next year, boom, there you go. And he's yours. Panthers aren't turning that down. Well, there might be some truth to this, but the reason is because Sean McVay has him running down the field every play. When he's running routes, he's running the outside streak route. So basically, let's just stop using him as a freaking decoy. Let's use a running back the way a running back's supposed to be used. I don't know. I really can't stand the way he's utilized. Saquon's not available. The Giants are 5-1. They're not trading him. But Sony Michel didn't fit the offense. That's the thing. He didn't fit the offense. They had to completely change what they were doing anytime Sony Michel was on the field, which was also kind of tipping pitches, and it was a tell to what they were doing. Good coaching. The Giants do not have the talent to be 5-1, although they have some defensive talent, but the coaching is just outstanding. I mean, really, Brian Daboll has won games based on his coaching decisions. I mean, I don't know if he's available, but like, I don't know. It's like getting to that point where it's like, just roll with what you have. I will say this right now. I am way more concerned with the Rams pass rush than I am about running back. Way more. Matthew Stafford won a Super Bowl with the 24th ranked rushing attack. 24th. Okay? A big reason for that is because they generated pressure on the other end. This year, in case you guys don't know this, the Rams are 32nd in quarterback pressures. Let me say that again. This isn't the offensive line. This is the defense. The Rams are 32nd in quarterback pressures. That's last. 56. They have 56 quarterback pressures. Aaron Donald makes up basically half of that. Not acceptable. It's not acceptable. And so the Rams know this. They're going to go out and they're going to get somebody. And you could say how good the defense is all you want and that we need O-line. I disagree to an extent. Not that the offensive line isn't neat, but the defense is really good because Raheem Morris is hauling ass. He is putting just another level of care into this defense. I mean, this defense is playing. Think about this for a second. Fuller's out. Rapp has been out and in, out and in. The cornerbacks were without 3 of the top 4 injured. They were starting their 6th round rookie. They were starting a practice squad guy. They just added off the practice squad, Grant Haley. Oh, by the way, there have been injuries in the interior. They had a suspension with Bobby Brown, and even still, despite the fact that this team only has 56 pressures, Raheem Morris has this team in the top 10, 9th in DVOA. The 9th DVOA defense, despite the fact that this defense has been banged up all year and isn't generating pressure. That says a lot. That says a lot. Now, the Rams, when they offered the money they did to bring in Von Miller, to bring back Von Miller, did they do that because they liked Von Miller that much? They just wanted Von Miller? Or did they actually feel like they had a need? Because when you look in the offseason, they didn't pick up anybody. Hassan Reddick was there. They did not pick up Hassan Reddick. The Eagles did. And then you look at the draft, and they don't draft anybody until the 7th round in Daniel Hardy, who was playing in the FCS and wouldn't be considered like a day 1 starter, right? So what were the Rams thinking? I think they were thinking at this very moment, if we don't have the pass rush needed to win a Super Bowl, we'll know it, and we'll go out and we'll make sure that we do. And so I think this team is going to make a trade. They're either going to get Brian Burns or Bradley Chubb or Cleveland Farrell, who would be more like, I believe, a Dante Fowler Jr., in that you're getting a first-round bust trying to kind of, a reclamation project, if you will. I definitely think they'd be interested in Robert Quinn. I think they'd be interested in Cameron Jordan if he was available. There are guys that make sense for the Rams that are there. And so I think at the end of the day, the Rams knew that they wanted to take a gander at the trade market. And when you look, Marcus Davenport for the Saints, what are the Saints 2-4 now, 2-5? I mean, the Saints don't look good at all. I mean, neither do the Cardinals. I know the Cardinals won tonight, but yeah, neither do the Cardinals. Ben Benogu from the Colts. That's not a guy you get as just him, but maybe you get him to add some depth, right? Lorenzo Carter, the way he's playing for the Falcons, yeah, I'd be interested in Lorenzo Carter. How about Jerry Hughes for the Texans? Hughes is having a good year. He's playing on a team that's not going to the playoffs. We all know that. That might be an option. Josh Uche from the Patriots. I mentioned him multiple times. I like Josh Uche a lot, but the Patriots use him as a situational pass rusher. Frank Clark for the Chiefs. There are guys here. There are guys that the Rams can trade for, and I absolutely believe the Rams are going to trade for an edge defender because they have to. They're not getting the pressure. Bottom line is 56 pressures through 6 games is not acceptable. It's not good. And to let you know, the top 10, the Dallas Cowboys lead the NFL in pressures with 143. Dallas is 13 pressures away from having 100 more than the Rams do in the same amount of time. How is that acceptable? It's not. It's not acceptable. Simple as that. And the Rams are going to have to try and alleviate it. They're going to have to alleviate the pressure. No pun intended. Fernando, appreciate you donating. We don't have the same pressure. We can't create like last year. We don't get forced fumbles or get quarterbacks to run outside and make mistakes. It's true. Now, I will say I'll give Raheem Morris's defense a lot of credit because basically what they do is they force teams to kind of game plan to get the ball out quickly. But that's not an excuse. That's a minor excuse. That could, if the Rams had 80 pressures, that's a minor excuse you could use. But I'm done with the idea, oh, well, no. Okay? They have 56 pressures through 6 games. They're not even averaging 10 pressures a game. You have to understand how bad that is. So, what they're able to do is because Raheem Morris knows his shit, and he's doing a damn good job. The cornerbacks are stepping up. Last week, the furthest pass in the air that P.J. Walker threw in that Panthers game was 1 yard. 1 yard. That's it. They absolutely stifled them. So, I don't know, man. But I think an edge defender is 100% on the way. I think the Rams are going to make that move. They got the fan base riled up being in the Christian McCaffrey deal, so they know they're going to have to make a splash. And in the offensive line room, I mean, Andre Dillard, if he's available for the Eagles, former first-round pick, I like his fit, can, kind of slide right in at guard. You look at Taylor Moton for the Panthers. He's amazing, but I don't think they're going to trade him. Riley Reif is one of the older and cheaper options, I think, of the bunch. I think the Bears might move him. Laramie Tunsil is like a dream scenario. I don't think they're going to actually, trade him. AJ Cann, a more cheaper option. Interior offensive lineman on the Texans. Lester Cotton for the Raiders. Cam Irving for the Panthers. I don't really see them moving Cam. Joe Haig for the Browns. I think he's a good veteran that is not getting playing time and could absolutely be moved if the Browns do decide to do that. Tevin Jenkins, I still feel like the Bears might move him. And if they do, Tevin Jenkins was a second-round pick. Tevin Jenkins is a second-round pick, and so is Corbett. It would be like Corbett all over again, going out and getting him. In addition to that, Oli Udoh, who plays for the Vikings, former, was Spielman era, whatever, or Spellman, however his name is. He was from that era, the new era of the Vikings. They didn't draft him. They've moved some guys. Oli Udoh could be an option there. And then I think the Halapuli Vadi Vaitai, like that type of move, could play tackle, could play guard. He's with the Lions. The Lions continue to lose. I know he's intending to come back. The Lions could just trade him. And then lastly, Isaiah Wynn. I think Isaiah Wynn is the most likely candidate. I think if you're looking for likely, it feels like Robert Quinn and Isaiah Wynn. Not trying to rhyme, but Robert Quinn and Isaiah Wynn feel like the best options for the Rams. Now, my question, and I want to know this because it's really interesting with OBJ. Do they feel like OBJ is that much of a need, or do they love OBJ? Is it more OBJ, going back to the Von Miller stuff, is it more about OBJ, or is it about getting an actual wide receiver? Because if they're in need for a wide receiver, I'll tell you this right now. If they feel like they need a wide receiver, first off, free agency, Will Fuller. Will Fuller is still available. The guy can stretch the field. I don't know why he's a free agent, but he is. So you could still go out and get him. If not Will Fuller, you could trade for a guy. Kendrick Bourne has some experience playing with Cooper Kupp, same alma mater and everything at Eastern Washington. He's an option. I like Bourne. Guy can play. He could play in this system so easily. He wouldn't move the needle on the level of OBJ, but he could be there. How about the team that I cover, the second team I cover on this channel? The Jets, right? The Jets just found out today, according to Elijah Moore himself, that he wants out. He's not happy with the targets. He's not happy with the way the offense is going. Elijah Moore could be in. And I'll tell you right now, if the Rams didn't get OBJ, but they got Elijah Moore, that's a pretty darn good move there if they can go out and get the former second-round pick. Chase Claypool, the Steelers, he could be an option. And I think he'd fit this defense, or he'd fit this offense well. Brandon Cooks with the Texans. I mean, we already know Brandon Cooks fits the Rams offense like a damn glove. So that would be something. And DJ Moore is not being talked about, but DJ Moore, man, I think he could be had for the right price, and he is being so underutilized in Carolina. He'd be a huge steal. And lastly, I'll say Kenny Golladay. And I don't love Kenny Golladay. The guy always gets hurt. But if they feel like they need a wide receiver, they might be able to get Golladay when he gets cut, because I feel like he's going to get cut. So, I thought, I don't know, I feel like that's the case. But, I mean, Elijah Moore would be great. I think if you're looking for realism, it's Robert Quinn and Isaiah Wynn. And maybe Josh Uche. We'll see. But I think Robert Quinn, Isaiah Wynn, I feel pretty good about that being the projection. Could totally see the Rams going out and getting Bradley Chubb. They have that connection with the defensive coordinator there, obviously with Ejiro Evero being the former Rams secondary coach. But Robert Quinn feels like it makes the most sense. The Bears, I mean, they're not going anywhere, let's be honest here. And on top of that, they have guys like, they have Gibson. They go out and they get Dominique Robinson, who the Rams probably should have drafted, like I said. But, they have guys like that. I feel like they're going to try to get those guys more involved, and they'll move Robert Quinn, probably try to sell him high, because this season is not going well for the Bears at all. They had to beat Washington, I think, in my opinion, last week, and they just didn't. So I do think that's something to keep in mind. And then, I just think win, good scenario there. You go to a winning team, you go to a good organization, you get, a breather, you get a step back, you get a chance to be inserted in the offensive line and be used interior, because I think he's more fit for guard. I don't know. I think it makes sense for Win. And then Robert Quinn, Aaron Donald freaking loves Robert Quinn. So I think that makes a lot of sense. But I don't think they need a running back. If they get a running back, I'll just say this. If you want a change of pace, a different type of style than Darrell Henderson, a guy that can be a backup, Melvin Gordon would be a really good backup. Coming in when need be, you trade Akers for him, that makes sense. Antonio Gibson, he former teammate of Darrell Henderson, went to the same, alma mater. Memphis, he's an option. Kareem Hunt, I'm not as high on, because I don't think the Browns are going to trade him. Second off, he wants money. The Rams are not going to sign any of these running backs. So there's that. Dearness Johnson makes sense, but no one's talking about. David Montgomery makes sense, but Ronald Jones has no touches this year. He has 0 touches this year for the Chiefs. He didn't sign with the Chiefs thinking he was going to get 0 touches. I think that guy's going to want out. I think Ronald Jones makes sense. Former USC running back, gets to play in LA. We saw what he could do in Tampa before Leonard, Fournette kind of took over. Ronald Jones makes sense. I see some Damian Harris in there. I think Damian Harris makes sense as well. The injuries are a little concerned, but, that's what I'll say there. Sorry, I think I missed Jay Squirrels. Thank you for donating. Sure, Henderson isn't CMC, but he is the definition of we, not me. Always gives 150%. People underestimate the power of effort and unselfishness. Yeah, especially since we've seen 2 selfish players this week. I'm not saying, look, I mean, Cam Akers is absolutely in the wrong. I'm just going to say that right now. He shouldn't be asking for more carries to the point where he's asking for him to be out. He shouldn't be sitting out. But Elijah Moore, I think, has more of a, an explanation. I think they're both wrong, because Elijah Moore is doing this in the middle of a 3-game winning streak, and the Jets haven't been this good in a while. So I have an issue with both sides. But yeah, it just, those are good examples of why it's nice to have Darrell Henderson, guys like that, guys like Cooper Kupp, that just, they don't say anything. There's no, I don't know, there's no crying or anything like that. Like, it's just like, you don't hear a peep out of them. They just play their game, That's what you like to see. James Robinson or Josh Jacobs, I don't see them getting rid of James Robinson. But I mean, he'd be a great move. And oh man, if you put Jacobs with Hendo, that would be something else. I think they would complement each other very well. Let's see here. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Alvin Kamara, Gibson. I don't think Edwards-Helaire would be available. Alvin Kamara might. I think the Rams have shown interest in him in the past. And Gibson, that remains to be seen. I think he might be available. Um, you'd offer Akers a third and a fourth for Quinn and Montgomery. Interesting. Okay. I mean, I just don't know how much Cam Akers is worth. Like, I don't know what you can even get out of Cam Akers, if I'm being honest. I think it's going to be a really low pick. Like, I've seen people saying we should trade Cam Akers to get Christian McCaffrey before the trade, and I'm like, you have to understand, Cam Akers is not as valuable as he was before the Achilles tear. He's not as valuable as he was when he was running all over the defense in New England defense on prime time. He's not as valuable as he was in 2020, basically. So even on a rookie deal, even though he wouldn't be, in my opinion, he wouldn't be, a huge, he wouldn't be like a lot of money. Teams aren't interested. It just seems like really, I mean, there's just not really a lot of interest. If they get a 7th rounder for him, I'll be surprised. It just doesn't seem like there's any interest. It feels like Zach Stacy all over again. They drafted Trey Mason and Zach Stacy was like, whoop. Like, he didn't want to be a part of that. No, they drafted Todd Gurley. That's what it was. They drafted Gurley. They had Trey Mason, and Zach Stacy's like, yeah. Called his agent up, and his agent got him out of St. Louis. But, I mean, I'm just saying. Yeah. Yeah, but that was a long time ago. You have to keep in mind 2020 is a long time ago in terms of NFL. It's a what have you done for me lately type of league. I just think, I mean, at the end of the day, the Rams are going to have an opportunity to make a splash. Will they do it? I don't know. Guys, we have 246 people in here, which I appreciate. If you guys are any of those 246 people are enjoying this show, please be sure to hit the thumbs up button, also known as the like button. It tells YouTube that basically you like what I'm doing. It's 1:10 a.m. on the East Coast on a Friday, so I would definitely very much appreciate that. I won't be on here all night, but I very much would appreciate some likes. Let's get it up. If we could get to 200, amazing. If we could get it to 150, that's fine. But let's get those up. I'll even put up the little graphic there so you are reminded to do so. Uh, but I mean that's just the way YouTube is. Like I need to have I have to have X amount of thumbs ups. Otherwise, YouTube's going to assume you didn't like the video. I'm with you there. I like both of them, but I absolutely Henderson should be getting the main carries. Especially they don't run the ball that much. They don't run the ball that much. Why don't you just give the carries to Henderson? Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, Tack McKinley was let go. So I don't know if he'll go on the practice squad or what, but I know he got into a little bit of an altercation, I think with Justin Hollins, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it was somebody else. But yeah, he's no longer on the team. So we'll see. Hollins has done well in the usual sense of him setting the edge, being a run defender, but they need more pressure. 56 pressures last in the league is just not enough. Appreciate you. Yes, keep hitting the thumbs up. If you're on mobile, you can actually hit the bell icon as well, and you'll never miss another live stream or video ever again. I agree. I agree. You don't have to tell me twice. I've been an advocate for an edge rusher for a minute now. That's another thing. Like, I know everyone talks about, like, oh my God, we need an offensive lineman. I don't know. Like, I'm not saying we don't, but I don't know. It's just like, whatever. Well, I appreciate you hitting the button. I think he can too. I mean, to be that, he could be a 1,000-yard rusher if they use him the right way. 1,000 yards doesn't mean he's elite, doesn't mean he's the best running back in the league, but if they used him the right way, I mean, I think he could absolutely help you out. No, I think the only way they do it is if it's Brian Burns. He's the only one that you would have to give up a first rounder for, you know? Well, that's true. But at the same time, when Cam Akers was on the team, and I'm assuming that he won't be on the team, but at the same time, when Cam Akers was on the team, Henderson wasn't getting the carries. So, what was that all about? You know what I mean? I think if, like, it's weird because I get, like, being worried, okay, you don't want Henderson to get hurt, you want to limit his carries. Then why is he running the 5th most routes in the NFL for a running back? That doesn't help. Yeah, right. In the next 3 drafts, if I could take any running back, I got to look up the drafts because right now I find myself leaning towards Bijan. So, let's see. I like Gibbs from Alabama. I like Bijan Robinson. Probably going to roll with Bijan Robinson. I haven't done a lot of research on them, but I'd probably roll with Bijan Robinson or Gibbs. No, I don't delete the messages. The mods do. I agree. It just seems like a lot of picks for the wrong position. And I'm a running back fan, and I felt like that was just too much. 81 likes. Let's get those up. Come on, folks. I believe in you. That sounds about right. That's probably Kyle Shanahan. I finally did it. I finally outclassed Sean McVay in a trade. Oh, I think the Panthers got a huge haul for him. Mm. Yes, please. Sounds about right. Thank you, Alamar. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the Rams do. We shall see. That's just too much. I don't think it puts the Niners on top because when the Rams get healthy, I mean, the Rams were. This is. If you take anything away, okay? The Rams pretty much lost a one possession game to the 49ers. I know the pick six, that was at the end of the game, whatever. Pretty much a one possession game, the majority of the game. The Rams were in it on the road with all the injuries they have. They're going to be better. Okay? Clearly, they're going to be better. Like the next time they play the Niners at SoFi, they're going to be way different. They'll have Van back. They'll have Brian Allen. They now know that Alaric Jackson is a stud at left tackle. I honestly don't think the 49ers are better than the Rams. I don't think this trade changes it. There's no way you can tell me that trading for a running back makes this team better. Now, trading for Marshall Faulk, that changed the game. But that was also only a second and a fifth, and the greatest show on turf was one dude away from really taking off. That was before Trent Green went down. Everything went to hell except Kurt Warner ended up being a superstar. They got lucky there. But anyway, my point is that the Niners have a really good defense, but at the same time, like, you know, their offense still is quarterbacked by Jimmy Garoppolo. Okay? Like, I don't think they're winning a Super Bowl with Garoppolo. I don't think Garoppolo's ever winning a Super Bowl. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they win this year. I can't see it happening, but I don't know. It's just like, while Garoppolo is your starting quarterback, I get you have to get all the weapons in the world, but if you're going all in to try to win a Super Bowl this year, maybe you should have considered going out and getting Mac Jones. You know, the way Bailey Zappi's playing, I'm really curious to see if you could have gotten Mac Jones from the Patriots. I'm not saying you would have been able to, but I would have definitely been calling around and asking. Tyler Beatty. Thank you. I appreciate that, Aaron. I mean, I like Beatty because he breaks tackles. You know, he's 5'7", but like he's a toll to bring down. It's really odd, isn't it? I mean, I think there are plenty of guys. If I were a GM right now, there's so many guys around the league on practice squads that I could just claim, you know, put on the roster, sign off the practice squad, put on my 53 and feel good. But for whatever reason, teams don't really do that as much. So I don't know what it is. I mean, there's plenty of offensive linemen around the league that I would consider that are on practice squads right now. So I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind Beatty, sorry. I just don't know. Like, I don't know what it is. And actually, I have an idea. I have a theory. You ready for this? I have a theory. Once you start going and looking and you know, stealing practice squad players, you create attention to yourself. So maybe the next time you might not get so lucky and you might get people poaching on your practice squad. So maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I don't know. If CMC gets hurt, I mean, he's still under contract for multiple years, so I mean, there is that to it. But I mean, if he gets hurt, they did just give up a second, a third, a fourth, and a fifth next year. So I don't know. It seems like a lot. I appreciate that, Jay Squirrels. Appreciate the kind words. Oh, if I could pick anybody, this this answer might surprise you. I would love to be able to get Jalen Daniels from Kansas, develop him, and see what if he can do anything. If he didn't pan out, you guys already know it's Arch Manning. If I could have anybody, it'd be Arch Manning. But I really would like to see Jalen Daniels. He was a Heisman candidate with Kansas, and he got hurt, and then that was the end of any chance of winning the Heisman. Thanks, TCU. But yeah, Nolan already knows how it is. Like, you know, we're all Arch Manning fans. I have a theory that Sean McVay does want Arch Manning, and they're saving their picks to go out and get him. It's set up perfectly to do that. Arch Manning, going from Matthew Stafford to Arch Manning would be freaking awesome. What's up, SG? Valaday? Oh, that sounds familiar. Valaday. Xavian, or is it Xavian? That is the coolest way to say Xavian. It's typed out Xavian Valade. This guy is like the coolest name. Xavian Valade, 6 foot 201 running back from the Arizona State Sun Devils. I love Arizona State running backs. That's why I like Balaj. That's why I like Rashad White. So I would not be against this. Thank you, SG. Yeah, so pretty much it's set up like the Rams still have first round picks way in advance. So I mean they're fine. I mean technically he could come out early, but you know I like Divine Diablo. I think they're definitely winning the West. I really think they are. I think they're gonna beat the Niners, and I think they're gonna just start ripping off wins. I think they needed this bye. It comes at the perfect time. Yeah, Charbonnet looks good for UCLA. Top player the Rams could trade for. I mean, I'm gonna say could with Brian Burns. I mean, I'm not saying they will, but I definitely think a could be in play there. Probably on YouTube. I've seen some of his. He's so different, man. Like it's just so natural. You don't see like a high school quarterback look that natural as a thrower of the football. It's rare to see that. ESPN, I don't know what it is, but loads so weirdly on my computer that like I just can never even use it anymore. I always use ESPN.go.com, but it's like I can't even use it. I was my favorite for the box score because I didn't even really see the Saints and Cardinals game. I was watching the Yankee game, and then after that, I was making content. Um, Eno Benjamin ran well. Keontae Ingram, USC, he ran well. Hopkins, 10 catches, 103 yards. Okay. All right. Yeah, the Saints are 2-5. I mean, at some point, if you keep losing like that, Marcus Davenport, Cam Jordan, they'll both be available. Yeah, he's good. I've watched a lot of Charbonnet. I agree. If they can make it happen, make it happen. I mean, it's that simple. I hate the Clippers. I hate them. Not as much as I hate the Astros. There's not a team I hate more than the Houston Astros. No team I hate more than the Houston Astros. None. I realized it today. I despise them. No, I actually have no issue with the Celtics. I respect them. They know how to build a team the right way. No issue with them. I've seen this now 3 times. I appreciate it. Absolutely. Some 49ers fans can drive me insane, but Astros, like the players, really bother me. I like Kittle. Okay. I mean, Garoppolo's annoying as all hell. I do not like the 49ers. Don't get me wrong. But I like Kittle. I like Trey Lance. I mean, that might be it. I don't have any issue with like Jennings and Ayuk. I'm not really a huge Debo fan, but Trent Williams, I don't have an issue with those guys. But oh my God, I cannot stand the Astros. I really hate watching Alex Bregman. I can't stand Altuve. I can't stand that the racist Yuli Gurriel who was making fun of Yu Darvish's slanted eyes. I hate that team, man. Hate it. Aaron Judge is going to be a Yankee. He's not coming to the San Francisco Giants don't have any legacy whatsoever. There's no point of playing there. They don't have anything going for them. I don't know why anybody would go there over the Yankees, if I'm being honest. I mean, if he's not going to come back to the Yankees, he'll go to the Dodgers. He'll go to the Mets. He'll go to. I hate all of that, but it makes sense. Like, the San Francisco Giants is based on the whole childhood thing, but like I don't think he's going. I don't think he's gonna follow his childhood dream. I think he's gonna stay with the Yankees and carve out a legacy. He's not. The Giants didn't make the playoffs though. He's not going to the Giants. I wish they had him. I wish they had him. I wish they had Tom Brady because Tom Brady, he's not winning anything this year. He is not himself. He is not winning anything this year. Tampa's not that good. You're probably better off with Garoppolo. I can't even take that. I can't even keep a straight face on that. No, you're not, but still. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. It's hard. I mean, the Yankees aren't the better team. They're not. They were midway through the year, but they're not the better team. The Astros are clearly better. It's just they're getting help from the umpires with the terrible strike calls, and it just seems like everything goes their way. Every bounce of a ball, everything. And they lose 4-2 in the first game. They lose 4-3 in this, or 3-2 in this game. Brutal, just absolutely brutal. That's fair. I get that. No, he's not going there. They might. We'll see. Yeah, I mean the Giants didn't even make the playoffs. They're not. Oh man. Well, I appreciate that. It's all this talk, but I don't know. I think he stays. Oh man, I just the like the whole the emoji, the LMAO, all of that was perfect. Why would the Browns trade away Nick Chubb? I was not ready for the Diamondbacks. I'm sorry. That was funny. I'm not trying to be a jerk. That was funny. Not available. There's no way the New York Giants are trading him. Nick Chubb's not available. Guys, most of the top dogs at running back are not available. Exactly. I did. I did. So sad. Man, football gods are brutal. Not fair, man. Not fair. Not fair at all. Dolly Rama, I will not rule that out. There's a chance. There is a chance. I saw Halloween Ends. I gotta tell you, as somebody, I forget if it was Alex on the stream, maybe it was Nolan, but Michael got more FaceTime in my videos than he did in his own movie. I don't know what else. I liked Hellraiser. I liked Hellraiser. I thought it was a good like modern day recreation of it. I liked it. I'm with you there. Oh God, no, not them. It was so funny and so spot on. I think so. I think I'm trying to see Smile tomorrow. I have not seen Smile yet. It was the first movie where I was watching the trailer and it actually made me feel like anxiety. I just I don't know. It goes back young kid. I had these like really bad like dreams about people smiling in the window and stuff. Like the nightmares if you will. And I don't know, like really creepy unorthodox smiling ear to ear, that shit scares me. Like that is what that does it. So I doubt I'm gonna dress up for Halloween. Probably gonna be low key. I don't have any Halloween parties I'm going to or anything, so I'm not gonna do that. I might throw on the mask behind one of them at some point, but maybe I don't know. Not really, but I love him and he's my favorite player, one of my favorite players. So it's one of those things where it's like I want him back, but I think the Rams can still win a Super Bowl without him. That sounds like fun. I should do that. I just saw the movie Haunt. Pretty solid. I saw Haunt. I saw one of you guys, by the way, told me that Barbarian was like amazing, and I thought Barbarian was like very weird. It was very weird. Entertaining, but very weird. And then there's another movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once. The most overrated movie of 2022 by far. It was like watching Dune. But actually it wasn't, cuz Dune was such a slow burn and Everything Everywhere All at Once was like chaotic, I couldn't follow. So, I don't know. I liked it, but I would never watch it again. Mount Rushmore in baseball? Good question. Let's see. Well, I think you got to start. Bonds has got to be there because regardless of steroids, he's one of the greatest ever. Bonds, Ruth. Oh, man, this is tough. I mean, Bonds, Ruth, Ted Williams, and Jackie Robinson. That's what I would say. Off the top of my head, that's who I would say. That's how I would have it. Bonds, Ruth, Jackie Robinson, Ted Williams. I thought about Koufax. Koufax, Walter Johnson, Cy Young. I think it was a combination of both. Like it was hard to follow, but I also think it was overrated because people were telling me it's the greatest movie they've ever seen, and I gotta tell you, the visuals are cool, but Everything Everywhere All at Once was literally why I felt like Multiverse of Madness worked so well. Because they could have gone crazy with all of the, different multiversal things. And they decided to keep it more like within 3, 4 universes. And I think that was easier to kind of digest. This movie, it was not easy to digest. And I did not watch it alone. And the same person that watched it with me thought the same thing. So, I don't know. Let's see. Ted Williams is the greatest hitter of all time. No doubt. I'm a Yankee fan. Ted Williams is awesome. Um, Greatest hitter of all time, bar none. Guy like what is his career average like 400? Ted Williams was a freak show. Like I mean, ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. His career average was 344, but he hit and he still hit 521 home runs. But he had a batting average. He actually hit 406 one year. 406. His batting averages are insane. 327, 344, 406, 356. He misses age 24, 25, and 26 years old. He misses those 3 years due to his military service, right? No big deal. He comes back. He hits 342, 343, 369, 343, 317, 318, 400, 407, 345, 356, 345, 388, 328. Still at 40 years old, he's hitting 316. I mean, the guy is unbelievable. He's the best hitter ever. I don't think it's even close. He's definitely up there. Definitely up there. He should be in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, that's a good question, Nolan. I mean, looking at those two, they'll figure something out. I mean, I don't think DK has done enough to lose his job, right? But at the same time, Jacoby, I think, offers more. So it's tough. How did the Rams fix the O-line? Thank you, Wildman Samurai, for donating. Well, I mean, it's going to be a little weird, right? I mean, it's not the usual way, but I do think you could look in the trade market, see if there's anything there. But if not, you're just going to have to get healthy. You got left tackle Alaric Jackson. You got left guard David Edwards when he comes back. You have at center Brian Allen. Coleman Shelton is your backup. Right guard, either Coleman Shelton or you play Ode Abushi, or you go out and get Isaiah Wynn, like I'm suggesting. Then right tackle, you have Rob Havenstein, who's one of the best right tackles in football. So when you do that and altogether, I mean, honestly, if you go into the postseason with an offensive line of Alaric Jackson at left tackle, David Edwards at left guard, or Isaiah Wynn at left guard, centers Brian Allen / Coleman Shelton, and then right guard you have David Edwards next to Rob Havenstein at right tackle. That's a pretty darn good offensive line to go into the postseason. So I don't know. I think that people are a little too worried about the offensive line. You got to let it play out. These guys are going to get healthy. They need the bye. The bye's here. Let's judge the offensive line based on what they do against the 49ers at SoFi Stadium. That's what I'll say about that. Week 8 is going to be very telling. It's going to show you, it's going to be a barometer of where they're at. Because guess what, folks? The brilliant thing about them playing that game is that the trade deadline, believe it or not, comes after that game. So the Rams will know if they need to go out and trade for somebody. They'll know. So they could make a trade, get them ready and get them acclimated through the bye, get them ready for the 49er game. But what's not being talked about nearly enough is the fact that the Rams have the beauty of being able to basically look at their team, right? You look at their team after the 49er game, and you still have a couple days before the trade deadline. That's a beauty right there, because you can make an assessment based on how they play against the Niners, whether or not it makes any sense to go out and get anybody. Something to keep in mind. Vita Vea. Thank you. Appreciate you donating, Booby. Or Bubby. Is it Bubby? 339? I just finished Better Call Saul, and I'm waiting season 6. Oh, Nolan Ryan definitely is up there. Hall of Famer Buster Posey. Yes, it is. He struggles a little bit, but it's also a different, he's definitely gotten a lot better over time, in a short amount of time too. So I don't know. I think he's somebody that you got to feel good about long term. I nailed it. Oh, I gotta say, before I log off, I have to say, if you guys like Cyberpunk 2077, check out Cyberpunk Edge Runners. It's like an animated series. Maybe I could even call it an anime, just like the way it's on Netflix. Cyberpunk Edge Runners. The freaking show connects to the game. The show is canon to the game. It's so cool. You got to check it out. I know we played it on this. We played Cyberpunk on here before. By the way, we have some Resident Evil games coming out. We have a Silent Hill game coming out. We have another Dead Space game. So if and ever I get back into gaming, maybe I'll stream those on here. I mean, Dragon Ball Z is like my favorite show almost. How did you not know this? Ragnarok? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm waiting for Hogwarts. I'm waiting for the horror games. I'm waiting for Marvel Spider-Man 2. Yes, I very much liked Dragon Ball Super Superhero. Very much so. Oh, this is a good question. Top 5 video games all time. Okay, so top 5 video games all time. Metal Gear Solid. I'm going to say franchises, okay? Metal Gear Solid, Team Fortress 2, Skyrim, Marvel Spider-Man, and Lord of the Rings: The Third Age. 5 favorite video games. I can't wait for Silent Hills or Silent Hill 2, whatever. I like Montez Sweat. We'll see if he's available. Yeah, I can't wait for that. So I liked it, but it was so like underwhelming. I don't know. Mass Effect's definitely in there. I love Mass Effect. I'm not ready for Wolverine. You're right. I'm not ready for Wolverine. No, Cyberpunk is amazing now. It runs smooth as butter, and there's going to be a huge DLC coming out. And Cyberpunk, I think it's 20. I want to say it's 2099. The next Cyberpunk that's coming out is going to be a direct sequel. So I know, Darius. Hey, look, I would do them if I had the time. I'm waiting on some news that will be able to give me more of a idea of what my schedule is. That's the best way I can put it. Because I want to get to the point where I'm making the money where I can start hiring people to just edit my videos. So I just create content, I send it over to them, they edit the video, and boom, we're golden. I want to get to that point. But I'm not there yet. I can't pay X amount of dollars per video, you know? I mean, I can, but I don't know. So when I get to that point, then I can start doing other things. Because editing, you guys know, I'm a makeshift editor. I'm not bad. I don't think I'm bad at video editing, but I'm not great. It's not my profession, you know? So. But yeah, I definitely want to get back into gaming. This channel, as it continues to grow, and it is growing, so I really appreciate you guys for that. It'll give me more opportunities to, you know, get back into gaming and things like that. We will game on this channel. I'm really debating whether or not to even continue doing other channels. I have a Jets only channel. I have an MCU channel that I have not really started at all, but I own one. I own an NFL channel, and then I have 1,000 subscribers on my gaming channel, and I'm just like, maybe I'll make it maybe I'll get the gaming channel going, but I don't know. I don't know. I do like gaming because you know what I like about the gaming is that I like being able to talk with you guys. That's what I like. I feel like it's a really fun way to just hang out, kick back, relax. I'm gaming, I'm having fun, but I'm also talking to you guys and we're interacting. Hogwarts Legacy is going to be insane. That is one of the games that will get me back into gaming. But I have realistically not had. Actually, I'll let you know. I don't know when the last time I gamed. So let's see here. Let's go to gaming. Okay, so the last time I gamed was live on the stream. It was, let's see, Hang Out with Jake, Late Night Gaming, July 23rd, 2022. Horizon Forbidden West. July 23rd, 2022 was the last time I gamed. Wow. That's crazy. But it shows you, man. You know, you get busy and priorities. I'll tell you this right now. I will never play Madden again. Like, I would stream with you guys, but I will not support sports games anymore. I have decided to take a stand against sports games because I watched Elden Ring 10 years in the making. I watched all these games, and they're not getting anywhere near the same dollars as a roster update is getting. I am so done with sports games. This is so unlike me, but it really hit me not the other day. It hit me a while ago, about 3 months ago, because I was deciding. I'm like, do I want it? Do I really need the new Madden? I don't know. And I thought about it, right? And I had a couple friends in the gaming industry that aren't gaming necessarily, but they're like creating these games and just all sorts of BS, right? These guys are just not treated well, and just like all this, like, so they put it 10 years ago in Elden Ring, and Elden Ring kicked ass. Like, it did well money wise, all of that. But when you spend 10 years making a game, and then you get outsold in 2 seconds by a game that basically is just a brand new skin of the last game. It's just a roster update. I can't justify taking, any action in that. So I decided to boycott Madden. I just, I don't know. I just don't really care for it. I think the game got considerably worse. I think they take things out, they put things back in, they call it a new update, they call it a new feature. And I just think at the end of the day, the best football game hasn't come out since 2K5, which was 2005. NFL 2K5 is the best football game of all time. I understand everyone talks about NCAA. NFL 2K5 is the best football game of all time, period. And I don't think I don't think EA has done a good job. NHL was great. NHL all of a sudden became a copy and paste roster update. So I stopped playing NHL. NBA 2K, it's the same thing all the time. They just want your VC. They want you to buy VC. They want your money. Spend money so we give you virtual currency so you can upgrade your player because they make it harder each year to upgrade your player without having VC. So I just get tired of it. Even the show. MLB The Show used to be the highest quality game, in my opinion, of all of them. And even MLB The Show kind of got, it just became, it's milking at this point. It's just like, all right, let's just put a half-ass thing in there and let's get people to buy it. Yeah, hockey. I mean, I like NHL, don't get me wrong, as they call it, Chell, but I don't need sports video games. I barely ever play video games, and if I'm going to play video games, it needs to be worth my time. And I need to know that they put like some serious effort into it. And I'm sorry, the Madden that I've seen, I know it just, I'm really not a fan of it. So, I'm kind of done with it. No, I know you see me play it. I know. I'm saying now I'm done. This year, I decided not to buy another sports video game. Doesn't mean I'll never play another one, but I will not be buying it. I will not be voting with my dollar to put money into, a franchise that is just a copy and paste roster update. I'm going to start putting that money towards projects that I really enjoy. So Elden Ring, the Wolverine game that was just mentioned earlier, the Spider-Man game, all that, that's kind of how I am, but I don't know, man. It's I haven't put money into video games in a long time anyway, so it's not like it's a huge deal, but I don't feel like I made that clear, and I just wanted to make it clear since people were asking me, hey man, why don't you play Madden anymore? And it's like, I don't even like Madden anymore. Warzone 2 kind of is interesting. I might consider that. I loved Warzone. There was a time where I didn't even know how I did it, but I used to create content and then play for like 8 hours with my friends playing Warzone. During the pandemic, it was just amazing. I enjoyed it, but I haven't played it in a while, so it's one of those things though. If you get rusty at that, man, it takes a while to get back into Warzone. So I don't know, but yeah, I haven't played a game since July, and I don't have any need to. I feel good. I've been able to make more content than ever before. The analytics prove that. I mean, what we've been able to accomplish on this channel, and it still has not been 2 years. It hits 2 years November 16th, so everything we do is still under 2 years. What we've been able to accomplish on this channel is, incredible. And it's, thanks to you guys that support me, allow me to do this. It's just what we've accomplished in the last 7 days is crazy. The last 28 days, the last 90 days. I'm looking at these splits and I'm like, this is insane. I mean, just think about this, okay? I have hit 1.2 million views in 28 days. 28 days. This was unheard of last year. I mean, we're clearly growing. Obviously, the Super Bowl helped, but we're clearly growing. I mean, you look at the 1.2 million views, 26,000 watch hours. That's just bonkers. 772 subscribers. So the subscribers are about the same as usual. Those haven't really gone way up, and I don't expect it to. I'm a niche channel for the most part. You either like me or you don't. You probably don't listen to my stuff if you don't like me. It's okay. So there's a lot there. The YouTube algorithm is telling me that my channel is up 966% for views. It's been awesome. It's been really cool. Lifetime, I hit 4 million, so I'm at 4.1 million, 271,000 watch hours. We're halfway, 50, not halfway, but 50 subscribers away from 16K. And that's because of you guys. Like, if I didn't have you guys to listen to me, it's 1:54 a.m. on the East Coast. I could just be talking into the abyss. I could just be talking into the sky. You guys show up, you show out. You give me, you give me ideas. Like, there have been videos that I've created based on comments that you have posted. So you guys give me ideas and all that, and so. Oh, I'd love to come down to SoFi and do a sick ass vlog. Here's what I want to do, okay? I want to get to the point where I'm making enough money where I'm stable so I can hire editors. Yes, I said editors. And they could just edit all my content. So I could just have a time where I batch record all my content and just send that to the editor and then be able to go live whenever I want. And then in addition to that, get another camera like this one that I can just bring, because I don't want to bring this on the go. I need a special camera. I want to, like, it will just be for on the go. And I want to get to that point where, I'm able to start doing vlogs and stuff. But yeah, I'm going to get to a point where I'm going to want to have everybody editing my videos, because think about it. It's nice. I like to say that I'm self-made and all that, whatever. Like, I edit my videos, all that. Great. But at the same time, imagine how much more content I could make. Imagine how much more I could accomplish if I wasn't sitting there spending hours editing and just focusing on the content, focusing on the creation. There are things that I don't do because editing is tedious. I mean, there are other videos out there on YouTube where they have more visuals, right? I don't use a lot of visuals. I do use visuals, but I don't use a ton of them. So that's something to keep in mind. What camera do I use? I use the Sony A6400. You can find all my links to, if you ever want to be a content creator, I have all of my links for everything I use, all of my equipment, in the description below. They're all affiliate links, so yes, I do get paid a commission if you click and you pay, like you actually buy it right there. But I do like letting you guys know that where you can find that stuff. I think I even have the Michael Myers trick or treat link, which is not an affiliate link. It's just cool if you want to get a Michael Myers mask and all that other stuff. Appreciate that, Jay Squirrels. I really appreciate it. Super smart. Appreciate that. Yeah, just trying to grow. I'm always trying to find different ways to blow up my setup in a good way, and it's one of those things where it's like, man, got to 4.1 million in 2 years, why can't we get, why can't we take 4.1 and turn it into 16 million next year? That's how I'm looking. I want like exponential growth. So it's just one of those things, man, where it's like if you keep at it, you can keep doing it. And that's what I plan on doing. So, it's really cool to be able to be live. And because, man, I wasn't sure what I was going to do tonight. I had recorded the podcast, Believe in Rams, with my friend Cameron Lynch. And, we did that. Took a lot of editing to do. So I edited that, got that up. And then, of course, the McCaffrey stuff drops. And then now the McCaffrey stuff drops, and then it turns into a full-fledged JE Live. I might even change. I normally don't do this, but I might even change the thumbnail, because I don't know. It's a long ass, JE Live that kind of goes all over the place. It's not specifically on Christian McCaffrey. I don't know. Maybe I won't. We'll see. But yeah. Hey Jake, you should open up a PO box so fans could send you Rams things for your background. That would be pretty nice. I should consider that. I should look into that and see what that would cost. I'll definitely do that at some point. That's a very see what I mean? You guys give me ideas. I've never even thought about a PO box. So, and I've had people send me some stuff too. Like Juliana on Twitter sent me that. So, it's cool. It's very cool, and I appreciate you wanting to send me stuff. And like I said, it's just it's really cool. Setup and everything. I wanted my backdrop to be about me. Like I wanted you, anytime you click on this channel, okay, this is Jake Ellenbogen. He's got the freaking Michael Myers mask staring at me. He's got Spider-Man. He's got Rams. He's got Jets. He's got the freaking Super Bowl logo in the background, the greatest logo of all time. Blue lighting, red lighting, whatever. That was really my goal, is I wanted my backdrop to be something about me. So, that's what I'll say there. Yeah, I will let you guys know about the PO box. That's a really good idea. So I'll let you guys know. If that's tedious and something to set up, then I might wait until, I don't know, next year or something. But, definitely, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's not meant to be like crazy. I see people have all sorts of crazy stuff. That's cool. That works for you. For me, not so much. I'm trying to kind of be more laid back than that. I mean, that's not really laid back, having Michael. And yes, that light must be going out, because that is blinking like crazy. That has to be kind of weird, but yeah, I'll definitely let you know about the PO box. Actually, let me look up how much is a PO box. So let's see here. I know I have one right by my house. Yeah, okay. I have one right by my house. So, okay. You pay out multiple months. So for 3 months, it's $45. So it's 15 a month for a small ass one. 57 for 3 months for a 2 at, like, that's an extra small. This is a 2. A medium is 30 a month. Yeah, I'll definitely look into it. If I get enough, then I'll definitely do that. And I'll put it in the description if I end up getting a PO box. It's something to definitely consider, though, because I am a content creator. If people want to send me fan mail and all that, hell yeah. And I'll read every single one of those things. Don't you worry. Let's see. Probably. That'll be how I die. Hey, I don't care. Anything you send, like that is that's love right there, You too, Dolly. Appreciate you. That's so nice. I appreciate that. Um Good question, man. I don't know. I definitely don't know. Oh my god, Andrew, you just made my night. You just made my night, man. I didn't know Arctic Monkeys. I knew, but I forgot that it's Friday, so Arctic Monkeys record came out. Oh my god, I'll be listening to that on repeat for the next 4 hours. I love their new mellow tone. I'm more of a heavy, like it needs to be heavy. I like it loud, like metal, like screamo, rock. But there's something about Arctic Monkeys mellower stuff. Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino, and then the car. What I've heard, it just I don't know. It hits, man. The biggest O line that the Rams can get. I mean, I'll say the biggest one that's possible. I'm gonna say is Tunsil. I'm not saying it'll happen, but I could see them trading him. That's awesome. That's awesome. Nolan wants Tunsil so bad. It's funny. Oh yes, thank Jesus. I can't wait. I can't wait to listen to it. Yeah, my best friend and I are huge Arctic Monkeys fans. So, oh man, I'm so hyped now. I am like really hyped. Oh, I bet. I mean, if it's anything like Tranquility, oh man, I freaking love Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino. I think OBJ is going to stay with the Rams, but if I'm actually, so Cam actually mentioned on our pod, and if you haven't already, be sure to check that out. But what was I going to say? Uh, yeah, check that out after I go offline. You got about an hour and 15. It's me and former Ram linebacker Cameron Lynch, if you remember him. He was one of the first players I reached out to back when I first started content creating, and Cam came on my show and like we talked for an hour and 15 about the Rams, and just basically gave you enough content to feel really good about the buy. So talked about who they could trade for, what's going on with the roster, how we can expect them to come out of the buy, all that. So definitely be sure to check that out. Yes. Oh my god. Yes. I love it. I love body paint. I love like uh I got to look it up. I'm not going to listen to it now cuz I'm not trying to get demonetized. Oh, my phone died. Awesome. So that'll delay me from listening to Arctic Monkeys. That's depressing. Anyway, let's iPad time. Let's see. Where is this? All right. Architects also came out with one. I wasn't huge on Nothing More's record. I was kind of disappointed, and Alter Bridge was pretty good. There'd better be a mirror ball. I ain't quite where I think I am. Sculptures of anything goes. Jet skis on the moat. Body paint the car. Big ideas. Hello, you, Mr. Schwartz, and perfect sense. I love it. I can't. I literally love how like the art is literally just a car. It's called the car, and it's just a car in an empty parking lot, and I love that so much. Um, I love that. My sister remembers you liking the Arctic Monkeys the last time I mentioned them to you. She just reminded me. Oh, tell your sister I say I appreciate that. I have no idea. I will not be listening to that. Alexis will try to get me to listen to that probably, but I might check it out. I don't know. I'm not really a huge Taylor Swift fan. I respect Taylor Swift, but I don't listen to Taylor Swift for pleasure. And dear God, I am losing my voice. Oh my lord. The Michael Myers head is creeping me out. Yeah, it happens. Definitely happens. It's got the same color as Norman Bates's Bates Motel, like the neon, the blue neon, and it's blinking, so it looks like Norman. It's perfect. I met Alexis on Twitter. We linked up, and the rest is history. She's one of my best friends. What's Swift? Oh, Taylor Swift. Who are your top 5 horror movie icons? Michael, Pennywise, Freddy, Beagul from Sinister, and I might go with Pinhead in Hellraiser. Alexis is great. Alexis is great. She is a great friend, and I'm lucky to have connected with her back in early 2019 after the Rams Super Bowl. Oh man, I like Chucky. I don't love Chucky, but I like Chucky. Oh man. So I was just gonna look up something, and now I can't because this is completely done. Um, it's not dead. I mean, I just have to charge it, but I'll see the Black Adam movie when it comes out. I won't see it in theaters probably, but I'll see it when it comes out. When it comes out, so we'll see. Frankenstein. Yeah. So, what was I gonna say? All right. This is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave you with this recommendations because people like my recommendations. I need you guys to shout me out on Twitter if you do check out any of this stuff, and let me know what you think. Also, Jake, are you excited? Yes. I at one point do not unsubscribe because I'm going to tell you this, but I'm going to tell you it anyway. At one point, I was looking forward more to House of the Dragon than I was to watching the Rams. That makes no sense. I've never felt that way about anything. I've always preferred the Rams over anything. And I was so obsessed with House of the Dragon that I was looking forward to it more than watching the Rams on Sunday. I don't know why. I'm just not. I'm like not lying. It doesn't mean that I wasn't looking forward to the Rams. I couldn't wait for the Rams, but I was like, man, House of the Dragon. Like, let me know. So yeah. Favorite basketball player: Russell Westbrook. Maybe that had something to do with it. I won't. I won't rule that out. Um. Okay, so it's the greatest TV show ever. Okay, final stuff. Here are Jake's recommendations. Ready? Music. Check out Starset. Check out Arctic Monkeys, Tranquility Base Hotel Casino, and check out this new album that I'm going to listen to. Okay, because I know it'll be good. Check out Muse. I forget what record it's called. I'll look it up now. Will of the People. Check out King's X Three Sides of One. And actually, I'll throw two more in there. Check out Demi Lovato's record. If you like rock, Demi actually went into rock. I've never really been a Demi Lovato fan. I did just go to a show. She's outstanding. The Rams guitarist, Nita Strauss, is her guitarist. So very good stuff there. Check that out. And check out Vivo Las Vengeance as well as by Panic at the Disco, as well as True Power, I Prevail. For movies, check out the Luckiest Girl Alive with Mila Kunis. Very good movie. Really enjoyed that. Check out Aubrey Plaza in her new movie, Emily the Criminal. Very good. I'll say this. You want to... God, I totally forgot the name of the... Anyway. So those are two movies to check out that I've just recently seen. And then TV shows. We'll end it out with this. Watch Cyberpunk Edge Runners if you're into anime or if you're into cyberpunk. Okay? It connects to the video game Cyberpunk 2077. So watch Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Let's see. Watch White Lotus. It's the weirdest shit I've ever seen, but watch it. It's such a weird show. And check out The Patient, starring Steve Carell in one of the most heart pumping, adrenaline fused type of shows I've seen. It's really uncomfortable and you need to watch it. I'm not going to tell you much else. In addition to that, watch Rings of Power. Don't listen to anybody who says it's bad. It's fantastic. Lord of the Rings, it's a perfect connection to the movie in my mind. So watch Rings of Power. Watch House of the Dragon if you haven't. Watch Game of Thrones if you haven't. And last but not least, watch The Freaking Boys. If you have not watched The Boys on Amazon, definitely go and do that. So that is everything. Dear God, I have a headache. I am probably going to listen to Arctic Monkeys and pass the hell out. So appreciate you guys so much for sticking around. Sorry for the late night stream. I would have gone a little bit earlier if that news came out earlier and I wasn't already premiering something. If you want more content, me and former Ram Cameron Lynch teamed up to give you the best bye-week special you will have for the Rams. So definitely check that out. It's on the channel, Believe in Rams podcast. If you haven't already checked it out, definitely do that. And that is all I can really say. So, that's pretty much it. King's X is absolutely awesome. My dad's favorite band. So I love, Mark, that you actually know who they are. Appreciate you guys so much. Again, be sure to check that out. I don't know if this live stream connects to that. It'd be cool if it did. I don't know if we have a connection, because there might be, like, if you stay in this live stream, I think it might send you over to the podcast itself. But if it doesn't, then it's gonna redirect you. Okay, so yeah, it'll redirect you to the bye week special, and that'll be that. So enjoy, guys. I'll see you guys probably tomorrow. I'll probably drop something tomorrow in some capacity. You're the best. Thank you. Peace. Good night, Jake. Later, folks. Appreciate you guys. Have a great night. Later.